This video right here is everything that is wrong with MAGA and the current Republican Party in just under 2 minutes.
So Harry J. Sisson just exposed something truly terrifying about Trump's judicial nominees. They literally refuse to acknowledge basic constitutional facts. We're talking about lifetime appointments to federal courts where judges can't even admit Trump is term limited. This is how democracies die, folks.
Donald Trump's judicial nominees, people who are being appointed to a lifetime position on different courts in this country, where their job is to be experts in the law and to interpret the Constitution, could not answer a simple question from a Democratic senator, which was, can Donald Trump run for a third term?
The 22nd Amendment was ratified in 1951 specifically because of FDR's 4 terms. It's crystal clear. No person shall be elected to the office of president more than twice. This isn't complex constitutional theory, it's 8th grade civics. Yet Trump's nominees are pretending it's debatable.
That is a simple question that every American can answer. You don't have to be a lawyer to know that one. And yet these judicial nominees could not answer the question because of their loyalty to Trump.
These are lifetime appointments we're talking about. Once confirmed, these judges serve until death or retirement. The fact that they're already compromising their judicial independence before even taking the bench should terrify every American who believes in checks and balances.
They know if they answer the question honestly, Donald Trump will stop supporting them. You just have to see this back and forth. It is insane. So I'm going to play this clip for you.
What you're about to see is judicial nominees literally coached to avoid stating constitutional facts. Watch how they squirm, deflect, and refuse to give straight answers. This isn't normal confirmation theater. This is systematic corruption of our judicial system in real time.
Mr. Mark, if I might, just tell me about the 22nd Amendment. What does it provide?
The 22nd Amendment, Senator, my career has mostly been in criminal prosecution.
A federal judge nominee claiming he doesn't know the 22nd Amendment because he focused on criminal prosecution? That's like a doctor saying they don't know basic anatomy because they specialized in cardiology. Constitutional knowledge is foundational to any federal judgeship.
Anyone able to help on the 22nd Amendment to the United States Constitution?
Quickly, just you're being appointed to a federal judge position and you don't know all of the amendments off the top of your head. The most significant amendments.
The 22nd Amendment exists precisely because the founders feared presidents becoming kings. Trump has openly joked about serving more than 2 terms multiple times. These nominees' refusal to acknowledge constitutional limits validates that Trump isn't actually joking at all.
Mr. Mark, is President Trump eligible to run for president again in 2028?
Senator, without considering all the facts and looking at everything, depending on what the situation is, this to me strikes as more of a hypothetical of something that could.
This is textbook authoritarianism. When judges refuse to state basic constitutional facts out of loyalty to one man, we're watching the rule of law collapse. Constitutional law doesn't change based on who's asking the question or what's politically convenient.
It's not a hypothetical. Has President Trump been elected president twice?
President Trump has been certified the President of the United States 2 times.
Is he eligible to run for a 3rd term under our Constitution?
I would have to review the
All I need to tell you is
it.
the language of the constitutional amendment that makes it clear that no, he is not eligible to run for a 3rd term.
Think about how insane this is. Senators having to literally read the Constitution to judicial nominees. These people passed law school, passed the bar exam, and somehow can't acknowledge that 2 elections means you're done. Trump's vetting process prioritizes loyalty over competence.
Anybody else brave enough to say that the Constitution of the United States prevents President Trump from seeking a 3rd term? Anybody willing to apply the Constitution by its plain language in the 22nd Amendment? Nobody. All right, let's move on.
The senator's word choice is telling. He needs someone brave enough to state constitutional facts. When stating basic law requires courage, that's a democracy in crisis. This shows how completely Trump has captured the Republican legal establishment through fear and intimidation.
They can't answer a simple question about the United States Constitution because if they do, Donald Trump will stop supporting them. The MAGA cult will come after them. And to be clear, this is not a gotcha question. This is just a matter of fact. The senator here is essentially asking, what's 2 plus 2? There's no gotcha there. There's no like alternative answer or new math that has been established or anything like that. It's just a, hey, you know, the law says this. Can you just agree that the law says this? They can't even agree anymore.
Exactly right. This is like asking what's 2 plus 2 and getting evasion. When basic facts become partisan talking points, when constitutional law becomes negotiable based on political pressure, you're watching democracy's foundation crumble in real time.
This is such a dark position that the United States is in, where nominees for lifetime appointments on courts can't even acknowledge a matter of fact anymore out of fear of Donald Trump, because we know what would happen if they said, yeah, Donald Trump can't run for a third term. If they did that, Donald Trump would pull their nominations like that. It would be done. Career over in MAGA politics, which would be a good thing because you're not contributing to this rot in the United States, this virus that has taken so many people.
The virus metaphor is perfect. These nominees are making a conscious choice to abandon their oath to the Constitution before they've even taken it. They're choosing personal advancement over institutional integrity, and that corruption spreads throughout the entire system.
And it just goes to strike at the heart of what Donald Trump has said about this topic. He says, you know, I'm joking when I say I want to run for a third term. I'm just kidding. And yet we know he's not, because if they were to answer that, yeah, Donald Trump can't run, he would pull their nomination like that. It'd be over. And
this is the smoking gun that Trump isn't joking about a third term. If it were truly a joke, his nominees wouldn't be terrified to acknowledge constitutional term limits. Their fear proves Trump expects them to enable his authoritarian ambitions.
They were also asked, hey, who won the 2020 election? Can you tell me who won? And just watch them squirm as they refuse to answer the question. Take a look.
Who won the 2020 election?
Senator, I wanted to be mindful of the canons here. I know this question has come up many times in these hearings, and it's become an issue of significant political dispute and debate. So with that, I'd say that President Biden was certified the winner of the 2020 election.
Notice the careful language, certified the winner instead of won the election. This isn't accidental. It's a deliberate hedge that keeps election denial alive while technically answering the question. This same evasion will enable future election challenges and coups.
So you're unwilling to say he won the election. How about you, Mr. Roberts?
I'm sorry, Senator.
I'm sorry, Mr. Jones.
I apologize, Senator. I have this same answer as my colleague, Senator.
Same answer as the previous one?
The previous nominee. The Senate did.
Mr. Coons, how about you?
Thank you, Senator. And I have the same answer as Mr.
Same
Hackett.
answer. Mr. Mark?
Same answer, Senator.
4 nominees giving the exact same non-answer isn't coincidence, it's coordination. They were clearly coached with identical talking points to avoid acknowledging basic reality. This level of systematic dishonesty reveals the depth of Trump's institutional capture.
I am amazed and really appalled that nominees for a lifetime appointment to the federal bench are unwilling to respond on an issue of fact. And I'm not going to try to get an answer out of you because clearly you've been rehearsed to provide a stock answer, which I think really reflects not only on your honesty, but really on your fitness to be a federal judge.
Senator Blumenthal nailed it. Being rehearsed to avoid facts disqualifies you from the bench. Federal judges are supposed to be independent arbiters of law, not political operatives reading from Trump-approved scripts. This rehearsed dishonesty is disqualifying.
Well, it's a great point by Senator Blumenthal. This is obviously a coached answer. And the fact that this has to be coached is sickening in our politics. You have to be coached to lie You have to be coached to squirm just to please one man and one man only.
When you have to coach nominees to avoid stating obvious truths, you fundamentally corrupted the judicial process. The fact that tell the truth requires coaching shows how far we've fallen from basic standards of judicial integrity and independence.
That is not the country that our founders envisioned, where you have these three equal branches, co-equal branches that are checking each other, not having appointees to one branch from another be coached to say something that pleases the executive. That is not the way that our government was set up. That is not the way our founders envisioned this. And by the way,
the founders designed three co-equal branches specifically to prevent any one person from dominating government. Trump is systematically destroying that balance by demanding personal loyalty over constitutional duty. This is exactly the tyranny Madison and Hamilton warned against.
I think you and I and everybody around you can agree that if a Democrat president put up a judge who said, for example, Donald Trump was the certified winner in 2016, he was the certified winner, and he couldn't just say that Donald Trump won the election, that would be kind of concerning for me, because I want somebody who can acknowledge fact, not just partisanship, that serves in our judicial branch and our legislative branch and our executive branch. I want it all across our different branches of government, people that can acknowledge fact and be honest.
Imagine the outrage if Biden's nominees couldn't acknowledge Trump won in 2016. Republicans would lose their minds. But when Trump's nominees can't state basic facts, it's somehow acceptable. This double standard reveals the complete partisan capture of Republican legal thinking.
With MAGA, it's just whatever Donald Trump says goes, even if it's embarrassing, even if it's humiliating for these judicial nominees to sit there and squirm during it, it doesn't matter. Whatever Donald Trump says goes. This is everything that is wrong with MAGA. It is the rot of MAGA, where fact is now up in the air. It's up for interpretation. These videos to me are so infuriating.
This is how authoritarian movements work. Facts become negotiable, truth becomes partisan, and institutions bend to one man's will. When judges prioritize loyalty to Trump over loyalty to the Constitution, we're watching the slow motion collapse of democratic governance.
I mean, it's disgusting. It's disgusting that they can't answer these basic questions. So look, I just wanted to show you these clips. I definitely want to hear from you in the comments about what you think about what we just watched. Please make sure to subscribe down below. Drop a like on the video as well. Have an amazing rest of your day, if you can, given the insanity. And we will talk.
This footage should haunt every American who values constitutional government. When federal judges can't acknowledge basic constitutional limits on presidential power, we're one crisis away from full authoritarianism. This is our democracy's immune system failing in real time.